Hey guys, what's up? It's Tech Mike, and today I'm doing a bit of a different video. I decided to reinvent my office and change everything in it, so I thought I'd show you the process. So without further ado, let's take a look at how I completely transformed my office on a budget. The way I originally had everything set up was a desk which I cut into two, making the bottom portion for my desk and the top portion the TV stand. Now this worked for a while, but it was time to get something new. I had to unscrew everything and move it out of the way, because I had to hold it in place, seeing as it couldn't hold too heavy of an item. Once that was in place, I had to put my Room Essentials TV stand in the way to make sure it was all good. TV stand back on top, and then it was time to work on the desk. This desk came from Costco. It was about $100 and it was really good quality and great material. I'm actually using it right now and I do love it. Opening the box was a bit of a hassle, especially it was glued together and stapled as well. After about 20 minutes of fiddling with it, I finally got it open. Everything was pretty light inside and the only thing I had trouble working with was the glass panel. That was just because I was by myself. I didn't use any instructions for this build because I was pretty sure I was capable of building it. Obviously, I was wrong at first, but that's okay. Who needs instructions anyway? Moving on. We put everything together and I built it all up. It took about an hour tops, but that was just because, again, no instructions were used and I didn't feel like grabbing my own tools, so I used the ones provided. Once I had assembled the legs, it was time to get everything into the office, because afterwards I wasn't planning on dragging the desk in there and seeing if it would even fit. My next obstacle came when I had to remove the desk. It was a very heavy desk, might I add. It took me a few tries, but I finally got out of the way. Moving it through the small door was a problem as well, but I went around it and I just pushed it through. I made sure not to scratch the floors because that would have been bad. Once I had the old desk out of the way, it was time to work on the new one. There was plenty of space to work around and it was very simple. The only issue I had with the real desk was putting it together at first, because once I got all the panels into place, it turned out the bar would not fit, so I ended up unloosening everything and putting it together. Now, I had to put the suction cups into every single hole, make sure they were tight in there, and then bring the glass panel in. It's tempered black glass, so it wouldn't scratch easily, and even if it would, there was a black marker included. That way I could mark it up and it would not be visible. With the two main builds out of the way and put into place, it was time to work on smaller items. I originally had LED lights on the back of my TV, but I decided to upgrade to newer ones. I headed down to my local IKEA and I purchased deodor lights. I velcroed them on the back so that way they were easily placed and I can always remove them if I needed to. They were very well suitable and the cable was long enough that I could drag it around the room. My next issue came from my soundbar. Now I have a 5.1 surround sound speaker system in my room, but the speaker bar up top was not in the right place afterwards, so I headed over to my Fry's Electronics and got all the items I needed. This included a wall mount for the TV, a cable management system, and tools to remove the soundbar and move it over a few inches, lining it up perfectly. After a few hours of work, the wall mount was finally up. It fully articulated and moved left and right, so that way I had a view of it wherever I went. My next issue came from all the cables. I had way too many around, so it was time to hide all of them behind the wall. Now this one is interesting because it came with two HDMI cables and ports, that way I could connect everything. My first issue came with this because it was too long, so I ended up cutting it multiple times to make sure it came out right. I had lined everything up and made sure that it was all plugged in properly, loosening all of my cables and connecting them to the actual wall mount this time. Now, with that in place, I ended up removing the 3M tape bars and connecting it down the wall. This way everything was hidden and nothing was actually showing, only behind the TV and below the TV stand. Now everything came loose from the bottom, but that's okay because I never ended up screwing it in. I just let it tape to the wall. I also ended up using rubber bands just to hold everything in place in parts, and as you can tell, everything's plugged in up top and nothing's actually showing below the TV. I could also paint over the bar if I decide to, it's just I have to choose a paint color first. And there we have it, a brand new setup. Everything is done and it took just around 15 hours. Everything was done in one day. And as you can tell, all the cables are hidden well behind it. It's a little messy behind there, but you can't actually see anything when you're sitting down. So let's recap. Take a look at all the prices showing up on the screen right now. Overall, everything came in at just $840. That's for a brand new room. And I think that's a budget sale in my opinion. So thanks for watching guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Throw me a like down below, please check out the giveaway going on, and I'll catch you in the next video.